My process typically involves certain core things regardless of the length of time. I'm going to first reason with my director. So I usually don't start any work until I know what my director wants. Just because I direct too, and I understand that a lot of what the audience gets at the end of the day is their perception of the text. So before me do nothing, before I make any offering, I want to know where their mind is at. So I have a few conversations with them, ask them how you see this, how you feeling, which direction, what's the style you're going for, all of those things. And then now when them say X, I take my script and I start to do research. So I read the script maybe 2 or 3 times to get a feel of how everybody in that world operates, to see where my character fits in. Then I start read. People, I read a lot,
I do.
especially for... What? We'll go back to that. Yeah, so I read a lot. So if, for instance, it's a period piece, so like when we do Tempest, you know, Shakespearean style, you have to go how them used to talk, why, and how their language would have worked in their scenario. So I read upon that, I read upon how them used to look. And that's also why I look the way I look now, people. I decided to grow out my hair because it makes me...
Mine.
I don't know why you do that. I mean, it suits you, but I don't know why you do it. Let me tell you why. I grew out my hair because I style my hair differently for each of my characters. You get what I mean? It's one of the things I do. It helps with my process. When I'm able to look and see how the hair fit into it helps me. And when I have more hair on my head, it gives me more leverage to transition. So with my hair at the length that it's at, and I'm going to go longer, I can be anything from a gangster to somebody from a 1960s jazz type, you know, noir film type. I can go 1912. I can be modern day. I can do anything physically in terms of transformation. I don't have much problem. The only issue I would have is if my hair need to be low. And my hair is so good because I have what the girl them call 4C4, the one down at the end down there, so I have the one there. So when you wash and you tie it down, it shrinks.
It shrink down.
So I don't need to trim it. You know what I mean? So that's a part of my process, the physicalization. And that come after the reading. And then when you reach rehearsals now, it's more of the negotiation with the director. If I make an offering and the director don't like it, I simply clarify what them need. But I like to offer a lot of things. And if a director say cut, the next time I do it, I'm going to do it different until them feel something. And I like to play with my co-stars, you get what I mean? So me like see what them offer and see how that affect the whole sequence, whatever the case may be. And then leading up to show now, you know, so when costumes start reach, you have to make more adjustment because based on how your clothes look, it'll help shape how you move in the clothes. And that's another critical part of my process, how my characters move. I'm a very physical actor, and a lot of the internal come when we understand how them move and how them see themselves in the world. So yeah, that's pretty much my process. Reading, making offerings, figuring out how they look on the outside, and then digging into the objectives once I do my homework, I do a whole heap of homework. Find what each line I say, how much beat in each line, how much things we can communicate in each beat, and working that through over the course of the time.
Okay, so I've summarized all of that into know what the director wants, research, long 4C hair. To put it in simpler terms,
pretty well.
So, all right. Wait, before I move on to, you said you're a very physical actor. Before I go on to that, because I have a question about there's something I want to know about that. For me though, like I mentioned, it is quite unfortunate, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you the honest truth, to not be an avid or you know, a very good, no, not very good. I'm a good reader, I just don't like to read. In the creative space, it's kind of a disadvantage, but how I, you know, get into character, or how I, you know, characterize my various characters for characterization.
Profound.
Is I look for video clips.
But that's still research.
Yeah, I know that's it for me. So I get my research from videos, not from books or stories or news or whatever it is. So how I get into character is like I mentioned, I watch videos. Video content is what I consume to get into character.
Right.
So for the Tempest, I watched Pirates of the Caribbean.
Nice.
I looked at videos, how pirates usually behave, how people of that era usually behave. It's kind of what's that? I don't remember what the proper name is for that era, but that's how I personally get into character.
Elizabethan?
I was going to say that, but I don't want to not be correct. That, right? So that's why I never said that. Yeah. God come to you and say,
We need an 11 to save the world.
Yeah, pick the 11 footballer them we are gonna need to save the world right now. Timer go, clock a tick, meteor drop, water levels arise, save the world. Pick your 11 right now.
All right. Ooh. Great question, by the way. All right. So in goal, I'd go Ika Casillas. I'm playing a 4-3-3, by the way. Ika Casillas in goal. Center backs, Jesus Christ, John Terry, of course. All right, left back, Roberto Carlos. Right back, Dani Alves. One more center back to accompany these. Oh, of all time. Oh my, bro, the names. All right. Obviously, I never watched that one here, but based on reputation and stories and everything, Maldini would be in my back four. Midfield now. Oh God. N'Golo Kante in my midfield.
Definitely.
N'Golo Kante
if
is
me to
in my
pick one side, I'm
midfield.
gonna put Kante in my side.
Like N'Golo Kante can go in any team. Alright? So N'Golo Kante.
Probably Kante me know probably dislike Chelsea.
Yeah, man. N'Golo Kante is just such a lovable figure.
Yeah, it's a good
That
dude,
smile, bro. That $1 million smile.
That
But anyways,
that brother.
N'Golo Kante sitting in front of that back four, so he would be my central defensive midfielder. And accompanying him would have to be Xavi and Iniesta. Like, that combination over the last 10 to 15 years for Barcelona. Magic. Right? And now the front three.
Yep.
This is where my front three gets a little tricky. But since it is of all time, I have to include Ronaldinho because although I mustn't really start watch football, like genuinely watch football in 2009.
Yeah.
Before then, I used to, you see look at highlights, and the one person you used to always see a Ronaldinho. The long ear, the style, the number 10, the Brazilian. That is why I even love Brazil as my national team. Okay. Next to the Reggae Boys, of course. But yeah, so Ronaldinho would have to be in that front three. Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. And my coach would probably be Sir Alex Ferguson, of course. Well, not of course, but Sir Alex Ferguson, because that guy is a winner. If you always say, "Oh, yeah,
back here, of course."
Yeah,
him set a precedent where kind of I go hard to replicate or get close to it.
Yeah, man. But so to recap the side, Alex Ferguson as a manager, Ika Casillas as my keeper, Dani Alves, Maldini, John Terry,
Kante.
No man, left back, Roberto Carlos, Kante, Iniesta, Xavi, Ronaldinho, Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Alright, so that's the 11 way.
Yeah, man. We'll save the world. We take it home.
Alright, fierce.
Alright, my morning routine includes waking up at 7 a.m. I wake up at 7 a.m. I, bathe, freshen up for class, and I eat breakfast because that was a big thing for me. I usually didn't eat breakfast. I usually have brunch. Right? Brunch. And then in the night, God bless what me eat because I'm not the biggest fan of cooking. So I had to discipline myself into getting up at 7 a.m., which is not early morning thing there. For me, personally, it's just it don't work. But in order to get more time out of my day, in order to get more time out of my day, I had to commit to that 7 a.m. Also, what I do, at first, based on my research, they were telling me that I should journal and set my intentions for the day, but that didn't work for me personally. So
Oh,
it's again,
I think I started doing something like that as well. I'd
Mhm.
write down write down 5 tasks
yeah,
that I would have to complete that day. I did it for
Yeah.
like 2.5 weeks, and 5 got to 3, 3 got to 1, and I've just stopped
it's the
writing down
discipline
tasks.
again,
Yeah,
guys. It's really
yeah.
the discipline. So, what I do know, what works for me is I set my intentions from the night before.
Mhm.
So because you know you don't go through the day, you know what you're gonna do today. So you can move those over to tomorrow. And what else I do? Oh, I also journal. They tell you to journal in the morning, but that doesn't work for me. So it's also understanding what works for you. So
Mhm.
that me get that from the beginning. At morning time, during the morning, me not feel creative. Me not feel like what me I go write about so early in the
Yeah,
morning.
because
What
you
me
just wake up where you're supposed to write. Oh, I slept well,
what about my
slept
mind
on
so
my
early?
left side,
Eh,
breathing cool.
eh.
We're supposed to write at
What
that
about
at
my
that
mind
hour
so
of the day.
early?
Yeah, nothing like that.
Not a thing.
But
So
yeah, okay, continue.
I start journaling. I journal in the night and I set my intentions in the night. So that's my routine, morning routine / night routine, because we just basically mix them. But my night times, we can talk about my Sunday.
Yeah, sure.
Let me tell you about my Sunday routine. Because you said the Sunday routine is my favorite. My Sunday routine is when it's very me. It's my me time. It's the night, it's the day. I relax, watch like a Netflix. I light a candle sometimes
Oh,
in the nights. And I take
scented or just
yes,
normal? Oh,
you know
scented
what, I
candle.
like a warm vanilla.
Mhm.
And I take the longest bath one can take, right? And I use my SS Skin body scrub.
Plug it, plug it.
I
Plug
use
it.
my SS Skin body scrub, honey. And then I go in and I rub up with some SS Skin body butter. That's my Sunday. My Sunday is basically a day of relaxation and self-care. If I go wash me 2 inches of hair, I do that on a Sunday. If I'm going to, just like sit down and meditate, or that's the day I try to invest in me and all that I am and all that will prepare me for the week ahead. But as it relates to like the routine now, it's what works for you.
Yeah.
It's what works with your schedule. Because I have school now, so it's what works around school and what's going to like aid in my mental and physical health. And of course, it increases productivity.
Yeah.
With smoking sensimania now, it takes you on different levels. So first you have level 1, and you can get that off of like 2 to 3 puffs based on the type of strain that you're smoking, and then it goes up to level 2, level 3. You have more control.
So what happens at each level?
The high goes up, and it all depends on the strain, because there's different strains for different feelings. You can literally go to a dispensary and you tell them, I want to feel passionate, I want to feel joyful, I want to feel calm, literally.
Is it that?
And based on how you want to feel, they'll give you a strain of indica, which will make you sleep.
Before, yeah.
Sativa, more
Never heard that one.
energetic. So it depends on what you want. And you can stop whenever, and then it just goes back down. With edibles now, I don't know. You never know the right THC content of it. So it just, it now take time climb. It just shoot you up there. You not even know say hi. You just start to yourself and do some foolishness. Me could have opened the fridge and I did there staring at the fridge and I say, what we coming at the fridge for? Did it for like a whole 10 minutes and lock back the fridge?
Okay, but I do that normally though. So I don't understand.
Probably in
I will leave. Oh, probably. Oh, maybe that's why it gives me a headache, because I'm always on the edible high. So when I try to add more to it, it doesn't work.
Food for you. You sure them now use some weed
No,
oil?
but look, but seriously, I will leave my room, right? I will leave my room, enter the kitchen, stop in the middle of the hall between, the living room and the kitchen, and just like, why? Why did I? Huh?
See, and they say that weed gives you short-term memory loss, and people already have these things in their real life. Come on.
Is that it? Or am I just easily distracted? Who knows?
I mean, I understand.
Let's not call down short-term memory loss on myself, even though I might, because I don't remember anything past. Yeah, I might.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Continuing
Okay.
though.
Yeah.
As it relates to-
So marijuana has levels, and you can stop whenever you come down. Edibles is just 0 to 100, and you stay at 100 until like a day later.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Auntie.
believe in 50-50,
Mhm.
100, because maybe the 50 where you come with and me come with the same thing.
Mhm.
They will shot the next part of the 50 days. So punkus pampankas. It can't work. So come as a whole individual, come with your everything, and I'll come with my everything. I mean, every relationship is different. Just like ship, you have cruise ship, you have boat, you have warship. Every ship's still different, and you have to understand, sometimes we think of society and make society dictate how our relationship must work. So if, because you're the man enough for cook, because you're the man enough for clean, our ship is different, and there are things that I need from Randy that maybe traditionally it wouldn't do. Randy's not a handy man, and that is and Randy would much prefer to pay somebody to come and do it. Randy's not. When I am my father, I'm raised by a mechanic, and so I'm always in my engine, and he can fix my car. Randy never have a father who was a mechanic who forced him to learn. So therefore, him don't know. And it's a matter of teaching and being able to be with a man who is comfortable in the know. All of us bring something completely different to the table, and it is fine. It means that an man may pay somebody to come and do it, or him will learn, or we do it together. But because him don't do certain things, that doesn't mean that him is not the head of the house, and that doesn't mean that him is less than a man. Him is still my husband, him is still the head, and him is still a 150 complete man. Even though him don't do those other things, So it's a matter of everybody have to identify who is good. Sometimes, in some relationship, people think that the man supposed to control the money, but him not good with money. Him a one gambler. So if he's not good with the money, may the woman deal with it. You have to know it is a personal thing. You're the one who's gonna spend the rest of your life with this person.
Yeah.
Nobody can dictate to you and tell your man enough to tell you, say, no make my son do this or whatever. No. If it's a teamwork, and if he's supposed to come in and do it, I mean, we have our chore calendar at home. And there are things that him take and him do.
I'm no longer surprised by the structuredness of
So everybody participate, because I was raised in a family where, I was told every day, you are in a family and everybody contributes to this family. So if you're a baby, your contribution is to be alive and eat. But as you grow, your activities becomes bigger. So how is it you're contributing to the family? It cannot just be money. Because when my children are born, I want my son to see his father and know that a real man do things in the yard, and he can take care of the family. Suppose I'm sick, right? He's supposed to be able, to take care of me and care for me. And that is a teamwork. And so as I said, come as your whole, come with your 100, and you come with my 100.
Okay. All right.
In Jamaica, since we're speaking about Jamaica, is that there's like what I want to say, like a system, like you're on a propeller. You go this school, then that school, then you go to university, then this, then this, then this, and then it's like, but whereas that system is kind of broken up in the US and UK, where it's like, okay, you can go to university now, you can go next year, you can go in 2 years, 3 years, and also people can spend time to, especially creatives, they can spend time to be in some creative job. And just, I just did my master's in directing. The people I'm working on sets with didn't go to film school, didn't even go to university. Like, they just got in a job and they were able to work their way up. And I'm not saying, and there are people like that here in Jamaica as well, but it's less common, because you will find that most creatives did a degree in something, whether it's a creative degree or not. They did a degree.
I'm glad you said a degree, because a lot of us end up going to university with the thought of, okay, in case I don't make it
Yeah.
as a creative,
Yep.
I need a fallback.
I need a
plan.
fallback. I was just
So we
about to
end
say
up
that.
going studying business administration,
Mm-hmm.
or one of those things that you could do in if you're not brilliant like some people, you'd go and you do the
What's that?
you would go and you do valedictorian when you graduated UE. Let's not
Okay.
pretend.
All right. I'm gonna let you.
Let's
I'm gonna
not
let you finish. I'm gonna let
pretend.
you finish.
Okay. You said you think there should be more,
More
right?
contemporary eras, yes.
All right. So what I would suggest is, or what I would ask you to do is like pick a potential ace, or maybe ninth if you have two. I would have said one. I plan to ask you for like pick a eighth, but it sounds like you have like a fair amount of people. So I would
Louis
just say,
Bennett.
all right.
Louis Bennett is a
Mhm.
cultural icon. Louis Bennett was the first person who wrote, well, the first person who popularized
Mhm.
our normal Jamaican language into writing and performance
Mhm.
and took it to the world.
Mhm.
I mean, I can hardly even think of in the days when they used to have SDC performances from schools,
Mhm.
you would hardly hear some presentations that never involved some Louis Bennett pieces. And you would hardly hear any presentation from primary school, from high school that never had Louis Bennett pieces. And she's a world icon.
Yes.
She's not only recognized in Jamaica, she's a world icon. As a matter of fact, Muta Baruka called her the first dub poet. And he performed with her.
Oh.
Yeah, man, Muta performed with Miss
Okay.
Lou.
I didn't
And
know
he
that.
said, this is Jamaica's first dub poet, because other than, before her was Claude McKay, who actually wrote in Jamaican language. But she is the one who went on stage and performed it.
And perform. Yeah.
And could easily just switch from Jamaican language to English, which surprised everyone. So, Miss Lou.
Okay.
And then Bob Marley have to be there.
Yeah. That.
Bob Marley have to be there. I recently
be
heard,
my pick.
I don't know if you heard this speech by Mia Motley recently to the United Nations. And she referenced Bob Marley's Get Up, Stand Up in the words of Bob Marley. Today, as we speak, Bob Marley is still outselling many of our contemporary
Oh yeah.
recording
Every
artists.
every time
year,
the reggae artists
every year,
puts out something and they show the charts or whatever, you would see Bob Marley in the top 3 easily. And it's not even like he's well, he has passed me,
No,
but there's nothing new music or anything coming out, but he's still, people are still streaming his music. His
because
music
the
is still
issues
being
that he
downloaded.
addresses. When they were tearing down the Berlin Wall,
Mm.
Bob Marley music was used. When Zimbabwe was liberated, Bob Marley music was used. As a matter of fact, he had a song dedicated to the freedom of Zimbabwe. Nothing wrong it in Zimbabwe. Africans are liberate Zimbabwe. And then in a concert in Zimbabwe, the freedom fighters came into the stadium. And when he was performing, they began to fire shots in the air. So, of course, some of the band members and the backup singers left stage. And he turned around and said, now we'll see who's the real revolutionary. Which is actually a line in his song. Soon we'll find out who are the real revolutionaries, when some of the band members left stage. So Bob Marley's music has been used in liberation struggles all over the world. Bob Marley, national hero, cultural icon. National hero, cultural icon. Because I suppose maybe we don't reach the stage where we want to accept and recognize contribution of people who are not politicians and who are not freedom fighters in terms of armed conflict, but Bob Marley.
Okay, so the two people now you would bring up to national hero status along with the current 7 is 1 Louis Bennett, and 2 Bob Marley.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Cultural icon. That's what I call it.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah,
I unfortunately, and I apologize
Don't
to
apologize.
the cultural people, I wasn't thinking of Louis Bennett when I.
Going back to the point of photography being subjective, the thing is, in our country, Jamaica, in the market, like, people don't really respect the creative aspect of photography as much. So in order for it to be appreciated, you have to do more than one thing. You get me I say? So like how you do photography and shoot as well.
Shoot
Stuff like that.
cameras.
Oh no, shoot videos, okay? Like things like that people appreciate more per se. But doing
Yeah,
it
the
alone,
jack of all trades
Exactly.
thing is what I'm, yeah.
but looking at it as a career by itself in this country is rather difficult. You understand? So you have to have something as well to occupy it.
Yeah, so in Jamaica, if you want to do photography, start, well, unfortunately, but you know, there are those who break out and actually do it full time. Start thinking of it as like a part-time gig.
Yeah, more so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Part time.
So if you think of it that way, then when you only do like probably 4 or 5 shoots per month, and let's say I did like a 1-person portrait where you charge like maybe a 8 or 12 grand depending on how you price your thing, which we want to talk about that as well. You do 4 12s out like what, 48? $48,000 for the month. To most people, that's not more than buy gas for go down the road.
Bro, it's
So
Jamaica.
you need something else, yeah.
Yeah.
So you need, if you not have like a studio where you know, so you definitely gonna have at
Like
least
you have clients back to
10
back.
people are coming a day, forgetting and you have
Definitely.
some high-end clients who will call you and say, come shoot a product here for like a quick 200,000. If you don't have that, get
And in a
job.
sense,
So they put me on ward upstairs. Done a Spanish town right there, so.
Anybody in Spanish town? Pick up the Spanish town, baby, there.
Spain sound massive. Yes, I went upstairs and wired. So this was prenatal. So prenatal is when before you have baby and they're observing you. I was on prenatal the week before. So I was at the same place, but I wasn't over in the same section. So when I was upstairs, throughout the day, the pain got a bit. It was still bearable. The pain was still bearable. I won't lie. It was still bearable, but it was getting there. It was coming on. So while it was coming on, so I breathe. They told me I couldn't eat anything, I believe. Yes, they told me I couldn't eat anything. So I wasn't able to eat anything because they said they're not sure how fast my process is going to be. So they're going to watch me and I can't eat. So me don't eat anything from after 2. My mom came, and my mom came, they brought food for me. And me, I don't eat. Me, I don't eat because I never dare stay up there hungry. I couldn't do it. I felt it, and it was the burden that is on your body or the process that you're going through when you're in labor is like, yeah, you're thirsty, you're hungry, is the worst. Hey, labor the worst. But I said no, my labor was worse than my delivery. I can say it right now.
Okay.
Labor was worse than delivery. So I didn't eat the food and night come, good and everything. Can't sleep because the pain start getting sharper. You know, with the right at the backyard, me I hear gunshots. Me not tell no lie, me I hear gunshot like I range the next door to me and gunshot I ring in the hours of night. So me can't sleep. The pain them I get worse and I can't sleep. Gunshot I ring. I call my mother. And I cry. I say, Mommy, I can't do this. I tell them to take your baby a morning for cut me. I can't do this. I can't do it. It was so unbearable. It was getting like I must have baby soon. And then don't a Spanish nurse and doctors run ward at certain times. So if them not running for a check, like them not run ward for a check you, and you feel like say, yeah, or you feel like say yeah, dilate more so you want to go downstairs and it's not time, you have to just sit down and wait until a time for them come check you before you can know. So you can just imagine that pain and then you can't get nothing to eat and you just sit in and you wait. But you can't imagine.
No,
sorry.
Actually. I mean, I can imagine it, but I don't know how it will make sense because I'm trying to get you guys to understand the basis of why this is happening. This being I am personally overwhelmingly tired. And this isn't physically tired, if you get what I'm saying. It's like creatively I'm tired. Let me see if I can make sense of it. So I'm not physically tired because I kind of don't really sleep much anyways. And partly because of that is, well, I have 100 things on my brain at once, and that kind of doesn't really help when you're trying to close your eyes while your brain is like, oh, but wait, there's this thing, there's that thing, there's this thing, so there are all these things that keep stacking on each other, and you have all of them to deal with at once. And you may ask yourself, or you may be saying to yourself, or to somebody, if you're watching it with another person, you say, but why is Kmanii doing all of this? You know what I'm saying? So why can't he just stop one of them, or why can't he just do this? Let me go over the list again. Number one is I'm in my final year of university. Who would come to their final year to just stop? You know what I mean? Like, why? Why would you do that? That don't make sense. So you have to, you complete it. You've paid potentially millions of dollars over the past couple of years to get this degree, and then you're just gonna stop. My condolences to those who have stopped. But I cannot join you. I need to finish. Money is a thing that I don't have much of, so I don't have the luxury of saying, "Oh, I can't do this anymore. I have to stop," because I being my parents and I have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on university, and I'm almost there. I'm right there. I have one semester left, and then I'm done. So university is out of it. Can't stop going to university. My production studio. Again, back to the thing about money. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have been invested in this company. You see it, you might spot it on some of the shirts I wear. So I pointed to it before, but I'm doing it again. It's Kontinue Studios. You can find us on Instagram. Kontinue Studios produces FiwiFewCents. But hundreds of thousands of dollars have been funneled into the studio. So for me, it as an entrepreneur, and as somebody who is filled with ambition, it is impossible for me to turn my back on my investment and other people's investment. You know what I mean? So if you're one of the entrepreneurs who you got a helping hand in the early stages, financially wise, money, if you got money that's not your money, to help you make money through your business, if you got it, you can understand that you can't just turn your back on it and say, oh, put that on pause until I come back, because it's kind of like an obligation. It's in some way, shape, or form. You have to then be able to give back to whomever gave to you, or to be able to make good use of the money that was spent, all of that stuff.
Also, I don't. A good reason why I don't feel like I'm spreading myself thin is because not only do I have more time, as I said, everything that I'm doing is definitely mandatory, contributing to my personal development. I'm not the same person I was, in 2020, the year of the forbidden year. I'm not the same, right? So
That's 2020, right? Okay.
I never even wanted to say it, but
Oh,
all right.
sorry. No, see, I at first you said 2012, so my brain was like 2012. What happened in 2012?
No.
So, but then
The forbidden year, the year not to be named.
Yeah.
Right. So
not 2020, guys. Sorry.
So that year, I mean, starting to work out has, of course, that's improvement. I feel like if I can challenge myself or train myself to do hard things, then that is definitely character building. Freelancing is character building. Working for yourself is character building. Working on projects for yourself is character building. So definitely, I'm a woman. I'm not a girl. You know what I'm saying? Getting up in the morning and doing 100 jumping jacks and 100 push-ups is not for kids. It's not for kids. That's what I'm saying. But I am rehearsing commitment, rehearsing keeping promises to myself. So of course it's mandatory to my future and personal development. I am not spreading myself thin because I'm doing everything that I want to do. It feels like I'm living my dream. So it doesn't feel too much like work. It feels like this is what I want to do. Right now, I don't live alone. I don't have children. I'm not married. I'm not in a relationship or anything like that. So I don't feel like there are a lot of things there are too many things that are demanding my energy. I mean, of course, sometimes I have to learn to say, no, I can't do it or I can't come. But I do want to build. I want to say, oh, I'm familiar with this, or I'm familiar with standing behind a camera and controlling a camera. So yes, I want to be familiar with that. I want to know how to do this because I might need this experience further down the line, or I might need this, information further down the line. So yes, I make myself available. So I mean, there are a lot of things that require my energy and my time and my attention, but I'm doing everything that I love. So it's not too far outside of my comfort zone. It's right in the scope or in the range of what I want to do. So no, it doesn't feel like I'm spreading myself, like butter.
Oh. So it brings me back to